Okay, we're good.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our December 28th City Council meeting. I hope everyone had happy holidays and had a little opportunity to relax a bit. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Stacy, if you could please call the roll.
Councilman Gary Donovan,
Councilman Gary Donovan, Councilman at Large, present.
Councilwoman Colleen O'Connor,
Councilwoman Colleen O'Connor, Council at Large, here.
Councilwoman Bridget Hosky,
Councilwoman Bridget Hosky, First District, present.
Councilman William X. Conlon,
Councilman William X. Conlon, Second District, present.
Councilwoman Elizabeth Johnston,
Councilperson Liz Johnston, Third District, present.
Councilman Mitch Galagnano,
Councilman Mitch Galagnano, 4th District, present.
Councilwoman Robin Hamilton,
Councilwoman Robin Hamilton, 5th District, present.
Councilman Peter Massaro,
Councilman Peter Massaro, 6th District, present.
Councilwoman Trinae McGee,
Trinae McGee, 7th District, present.
Councilwoman Crystal Finelli,
Councilwoman Crystal Finelli, 8th District, present.
Councilman Robert Bruno,
Councilman Robert Bruno, 9th District, present.
Councilman Barry Lee Cohen,
Councilman Barry Lee Cohen, 10th District, present.
and Chairman Ron Quagliani.
Councilman Ron Quagliani, Council at Large, present. We are all present and accounted for. Thank you, Stacy. Before we enter
Very welcome.
into public comment, I would just, unfortunately, we're doing this much too often, but I'd like to pause for a moment of silence to remember two city public servants, past public servants that have passed since our last meeting. Judy Florio was a longtime educator in the West Haven school system, and Ray Ciccarelli was a past elected member of the Democratic Town Committee. And if we could take a minute in silence. Thank you. Okay, we will now enter into public comment, and I believe there is one letter to be read into the record.
Okay, we have one letter for this evening, and it's from Commissioner Stephen R. Mullins on Oak Road in Alleytown, West Haven. Greetings, Mayor Rossi, Chairman Quagliani, and the members of the City Council. I wish you and Mrs. Riccio a happy and blessed Christmas season and New Year's. I am speaking this evening regarding Communication F on your agenda. The communication is from Mayor Nancy Rossi regarding a public health resolution. To be specific, it is regarding a declaration proclaiming racism as a public health crisis in the city of West Haven. Last summer, the mayor formed a committee to come up with a resolution to present to the city council that would declare racism a public health crisis in the city of West Haven. The committee became known as the West Haven Community Alliance, going forward as WHCA Committee. The WHCA Committee membership were made up of 10 members. They were the mayor, 4 city council women, the chief and deputy chief of police, the chairman of the West Haven Democratic Party, and 2 laypersons who were a reverend cleric and the leader of the local Black Lives Matter movement. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the committee members for their hard work and dedication to their task. I would also like to thank and congratulate Councilwoman Trinae McGee for her leadership. I attended the November 18th and the December 2nd meetings of the WHCA. Several Board of Education matters were discussed regarding the racial makeup of faculty members that the Board of Education has on staff. Out of the 10 members of the committee, none of them serve on the Board of Education, nor are employed as educators by the board. To my knowledge, none of the committee members are members of West Haven's Republican Party. Also, with the goal of the WHCA committee to present a resolution to the city council asking the council to proclaim a public health crisis, there is surprisingly no representation from the city's health department, whether it be staff or a member of the Board of Health. To my knowledge, there are no healthcare professionals serving on WHCA committee. Having a long discussion with the West Haven Health Director, Maureen Lillis, she suggested to me that I nominate to the mayor the name of Dr. Ahmed Mohammed of Orange, who is working on a similar resolution in the town of Orange. Dr. Mohammed also works closely with Director Lillis in the city's response to COVID-19, so he is very familiar with West Haven. In an email to the mayor a month ago, I made recommendations regarding Dr. Mohammed and adding more diversity to the WHCA committee. A larger committee which would make the goals of the WHCA more successful. As of noon today, neither the mayor nor anyone from her staff have replied to my email. At this time, I'm asking the city council to hold off on voting on communication F until the Mayor Rossi has added committee members to the WHCA with a full background of expertise and bipartisanship to properly give input to the proposed resolution. I am also proposing that the final verbiage of the resolution be published in print media and the city website to allow the West Haven public to be fully aware of the wording and allow them to ask questions of the WHCA committee members and their respective city council persons regarding said resolution before it is voted on. As I stated to Mayor Rossi in my email, I am more than willing to assist her in finding additional WHCA members that are open-minded and would be good fits to the task at hand. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time to further discuss diversifying the WHCA committee. Signed, thank you, Commissioner Stephen R. Mullins, Oak Road, Allentown. And that's all the communications we have this evening, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Stacy. We will now enter into our regular council meeting. The first order of business is the approval of the minutes of the special meeting on December 9, 2020. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Mr. Bruno, Mr. Cohen, is there a second? Second by Councilman Massaro. Is there any discussion on those minutes? Councilwoman O'Connor.
On page 3 of the minutes, right in the middle, where it says,
Councilwoman O'Connor, we're on December 9th special meeting.
oh, sorry.
That's all right. We'll get to the 14th. Is there any other discussion on December 9, 2020 special meeting minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Are there any opposed? Does anyone abstain? Seeing none, those minutes pass unanimously. Now I'll take a motion for the approval of the minutes of the December 14th, 2020 meeting.
Motion approved.
Councilman Conlon, Councilman Bruno, is there a second? Councilwoman O'Connor, Councilman Massaro, is there any discussion? Councilwoman O'Connor.
Sorry. For some reason, everything disappeared off the bottom of my screen. In the very middle of page 3, where it says Councilwoman O'Connor presented the following motion, which was seconded by Councilman Galignano and approved unanimously. If I remember correctly, Councilman Bruno abstained from that vote.
That's the
enterprise zone.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Councilwoman O'Connor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
all right. We'll so note in the minutes. The Councilman Bruno abstained. Is there any other discussion on the minutes? Councilman Donovan?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. On page 4, the third paragraph, right at the end where it says the sale price of $115,000, it should say $115,000 as is. I'd like that put in the record.
So noted. Is there any other discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor as amended signify by raising your hand. Are there anyone opposed? Any abstentions? And those minutes as amended pass unanimously. All right, Stacy, if I could ask you to pass out tonight's communications.
Okay, tonight we have before us Communication A from Mayor Nancy R. Rossi in regards to a special taxing district for the Haven project being assigned to Legislative Matters Committee Chairman Galagnano. We have before us Communication B from the City Engineer Abdul Qadir in regards to application of the DECD grant dollars for the Beach Street project being assigned to the Finance Committee Chairwoman Hosky. We have before us Communication C from Chief Joseph Perno in regards to animal shelter donations being assigned to the Finance Committee Chairwoman Hosky. We have before us Communication D from the tax collector in regards to overpayment refunds for the month of December 2020, which will be filed with tonight's minutes. We have before us Communication E from taxpayer Trina